In this mini-lesson, you will learn how to work with the graphs or charts that are generated from Educada's reports. In particular, you will learn three things. First, you will learn to open up graphs from the reports. Second, you will learn how to modify the appearance of the chart, including the kind of display, such as bar charts or pie charts, as well as the text and overall appearance. Third, you will learn the variety of ways in which you can export the graph into your reports or other kinds of programs. To begin, we will once again look at a demo report that was generated from a form focusing on students' perceptions of how they are feeling. This is the report, showing information that is in graphical form as well as in tables. As noted in the first mini-lesson from Educada, you can directly export any graph that has the blue hypertext words Export Graph, as shown here. You can also open up and export the tiny thumbnail graphs, as shown here. Lastly, some reports have customized charts that were created by the Educada team, as shown here, for a cross-tabulation of students and the percentage of times they picked each emotional category. These graphs are embedded inside the report, but you can export them by either using a screenshot or capture system from your Mac or PC, or in the Mac by just holding down your cursor on the graph and then dragging it to your desktop. This will produce a PNG file on your desktop, which you can import into any word processing or drawing program. For both the Mac and PC, you can also hold down the cursor on the graph with the relevant controls, copy the graph, and then paste it into a report document. This concludes how to open up graphs, and we turn next to the second topic, which is working with the graphs. For all graphs associated with the blue hypertext words Export Graph, you can edit several features of the graph's appearance. Let's start by opening up this graph, which shows how many times each of these students has filled out one of the forms. I will first click on the hypertext and open the graph. Now you see the graph in front of you. If you look to the top left, you will see that this is a horizontal bar 3D chart. You can easily change the way the responses are displayed by clicking on this drop-down menu. As you see, you can change the bar chart to a vertical orientation, and you can make both the vertical and horizontal bar charts either 3D or 2D. But you can also convert the chart to a pie chart representation. For some kinds of information, the pie chart may be easier to read and to make your point. Next is the size dimension of the graph. As you will see here, you can simply type in new dimensions, say 600 for both width and height. Then click the Update button here, and the chart will immediately redraw itself. Next, you will see to the right of the Update button a series of checkboxes. One is for presenting the title of the question associated with the chart. Clicking it off removes the title. Next, you can click on the rank order of the responses to show the highest to the lowest. Next, you can click off the Zoom button so that the full range of the horizontal scale is shown. And lastly, you can toggle between showing the responses as numerical totals or the percentage of responses by each student in this particular case. On the upper right-hand corner are directions for exporting this graph to PowerPoint. For graphs like this, with the Export Graph hypertext, if you move your cursor over one of the bars associated with a student, you will see a small edit pop-up. If you click the edit pop-up, it will take you to a new screen where you can edit the colors associated with each response. For example, you might want to change all boys to green and all girls to purple, as shown here, just to make the differences, or the possible differences, show up. Now when you go back to the report, you will see that the graph's colors have changed. Next, we turn to the small thumbnail graphs. Hovering over the graph, you will see again the small edit button pops up again, allowing you to change the colors of the responses. Straight above this is also a pull-down menu that provides you with the same options for how to display the chart, as vertical or horizontal bar charts, 2D or 3D, and also the pie chart. If you return back to the thumbnail, you will see that if you click outside of the little edit pop-up, you will see the graph and the export graph hypertext. Once again, clicking on the export graph hypertext takes you to the same setup we had earlier. This now completes the section on working with graphs. Lastly, you can copy or import these graphs into any number of programs, either copying it into your clipboard and then pasting it into the program, or saving the file onto your desktop. Once you have saved the graph as a file, you can import it into any drawing program or PowerPoint, and then add text or information into the graph. I hope this mini lesson using graphs has been useful.